In today's Leeds news, French interest in Meslier, Leeds line up Rodak, Archie price tag revealed, Adam Hlozak update, President admits he could sell to Leeds, Shackleton exit, and Sonny Perkins departs on loan. Morning folks, Jay here, Friday morning the 28th of June with your Leeds United news. Hope you're all having a really good week so far. Apologies yesterday about not getting a video out. I was doing wedding stuff with my partner Jess yesterday morning, and it went on slightly longer than we thought it would, and then got stuck in a traffic jam on the M50 in Dublin, and that was the end of that. So apologies for that, but we'll crack on, we'll get into this. There will be some form of a live stream tonight as well, just to cover off the news of the week. Keep an eye out for that if you are interested in it. But we'll start off with news around the future of Leeds United goalkeeper Illan Meslier. Reports in the past few days are suggesting that Leeds keeper Illan Meslier could be on the shortlist of French side Marseille. Meslier has been the Leeds United number one for 4 years now and clocked up an impressive 175 appearances at the young age of 24 years of age. However, Meslier has been a slightly divisive figure at Leeds United over the past couple of years, with small portions of the fan base wanting a change as far back as our last season in the Premier Division. Other people are more patient with the keeper and expect him to turn into a good goalkeeper in the future, but as of yet we probably haven't seen the potential we thought we would see from the keeper at this point. But according to French outlet La Provence, they are saying that Meslier is keen himself on leaving Leeds United this season, and Marseille in France could be one of the possible options the player has. The report also goes on to state that contact between Meslier's camp and Marseille has already begun and talks are ongoing, but it does state that we are in the very early stages at this point. Meslier has 2 years left to run on his current Leeds United deal, and Leeds would want to make a decision this year around either extending that deal or moving the player on before he goes into the final 12 months of his contract. Leeds paid £5 million for Illan Meslier just over 4 years ago and would be expecting a return on that. A fee of around £20 million is expected to be the fee that Leeds would accept if the player was to move on. But Leeds are also said to have shortlisted some potential replacements in the meantime. One of those shortlists, and our next story, relates to Fulham goalkeeper Marek Rodak. Leeds are said to have identified Rodak as a potential replacement for Meslier should he go. According to the Daily Mail, the Fulham goalkeeper who is out of contract in a couple of days, is seen as one of the potential options for Leeds to move into next season. Rodak, as I said, would be available on a free transfer and could be seen as really good value for Leeds United to get in as a goalkeeper. He's 27 years of age, so he's coming into the peak years of his career, a very solid age and a keeper with plenty of experience. He has been capped 22 times by Slovakia, but hasn't appeared in this season's Euros, but has played 93 times for Fulham as well, and will be coming in with some experience at the top level, as well as experience through the rest of his career coming up through the ranks at other clubs as well. So an interesting one there. Whether Meslier moves on to pastures new in the summer, I know a lot of people would want to see that. Is Marek Rodak a keeper you would see as a good replacement for him? What are your thoughts on that? There are said to be other goalkeepers on the list as well, but right now the name that's coming out, and the Daily Mail has tended to be fairly reliable when it comes to news sources around Leeds in the last 12 months, so interesting one to keep an eye on. Moving on to a player that has courted interest all summer and all last season, and that's Archie Gray. And Leeds are said to have finally put a price tag on the head of Archie Gray in an attempt to cool interest from Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea. It is still widely believed that Archie Gray will not leave Leeds United this summer, and that those clubs interested in Archie are playing a longer term game with the player and are likely to leave him at Leeds United this season at least, and leave Leeds alone in the process. In an attempt to cool some of that interest in the player, Leeds United are said to have put a starting price for Archie Gray of £30 million on the player's head, and Leeds won't entertain any conversations for the player of anything underneath that price. It is very much a starting price to initiate discussions with the club. Borussia Dortmund are also still said to be monitoring the situation of Archie Gray, and Archie Gray's camp are said to have leaked some information around Archie himself being interested in Dortmund as a potential destination in the future. Chelsea are the most likely club to make a move out of all of those clubs this season, as they continue to add young English and local based players to their squad for next season. So very much one to keep an eye on. But a £30 million starting price might put some people off as viewing an 18-year-old player who has played predominantly his first breakout season out of position last year. So they might want to see him in his natural position next season before they make that move for the player. Moving on to a player Leeds have been linked with a couple of weeks ago, and that is Slovakian striker Adam Hlozek, who has been linked consistently with the club over the last few weeks. As has been reported, there is interest from Leeds United in the striker, but the latest information on this basically says that Leeds are going head-to-head with West Ham for the player. The Leverkusen striker is said to be interested in playing games next season and is prioritising game time over anything else. West Ham might seem like a more attractive position for the player, but he might not play the games he's looking for. He didn't play a huge amount of football at Leverkusen last season, but would be seen as a very talented striker coming into Leeds in a championship level. But a transfer fee of around £12.5 million is expected to be the price tag to get the player, and might be a bit expensive depending on what Leeds decide to do with their other strikers that they've got in the team. I don't think the number 9 position for Leeds is a priority this year. They've got Bamford, regardless of what you think of that. They've got Joe Pirro, who they spent a lot of money on last year, coming to a second season, and you have the emergence of Mateo Joseph, who you would expect to have a more significant role next season. So where another striker fits in that, if someone's likely to leave, I know people would want Pat Bamford to go, but it's very unlikely with the wages that Patrick Bamford is on that the club would look at selling him, or that other clubs would look at bringing the player in who's got a bit of time left on his contract and could sit out his contract on pretty decent wages right now. So that's the question mark on that one. Another player that's been linked with Leeds over the past couple of weeks, and that is Fluminense winger Jan Arias, and there's been some news come out directly from the club and the president himself. In the update from today, not the CS Caracol, they are claiming that Fluminense president Mario Bittencourt claims that Arias could leave the club this summer if he himself requests a move away from the club. Or Bittencourt has said that the club are open to selling the player, they may have to sell him, but they will only sell if the player himself wants to move away, and they will respect the wishes of the player should he decide to want a move. The report also states that Leeds have already tabled a £12.75 million bid for the player, with Leicester and Crystal Palace and West Ham also said to be keeping an eye on the young Ghanaian winger as well. It's a strange one. 12.7 million seems like a lot of money for Leeds right now. If they've tabled it already, I wouldn't have expected Leeds to do anything till after the 30th of June PSR deadline kicks in. This might just be initial conversations and might kick in July. But right now, he is an exciting young winger. He has similarities to Cree in some aspects of his game. I did link his montage video on the previous story about him a couple of days ago, so you can check that out again if you want to. But there is said to now be an official bid on the table. It is coming out from not a CS Caracol in South America. Hasn't really been picked up by any local media in the UK just yet, so we'll keep an eye on that one and pinch of salt until more information on that one comes out. Moving on to the exit situation now, and 2 players that have exited Leeds United, starting one that's about to, it would appear, and that's the future of Jamie Shackleton. It's increasingly noisy surrounding the situation of Jamie Shackleton's position at Leeds United. He was offered a contract by Leeds United, but according to the Just Joe football show, who broke this news as an exclusive 2 days ago, they are claiming, and Joe is claiming, that Jamie Shackleton will turn down the contract offer from Leeds United and accept an offer from Sheffield United instead. The deal that was offered from Leeds seems to be very much a lower deal than he was on before. He was on Premier League money, and guaranteed of game time won't be given to Shackleton, who played very little football last year due to lots of reasons, including injuries, illness, and then just not getting into the team often enough. And game time will be prioritised by Shackleton going into next season, and Sheffield United might be seen as the perfect place for him to kickstart his career. They've got some financial issues at Sheffield next season. They are starting the season in a -2 points as well. They've got a deduction. They're trying to rebuild the squad there as well with little resources, so Shackleton could be an interesting player for them to bring in. But outside of this, and this should be said, you've got Peter O'Rourke and a lot of people at Football Insider claiming that they broke this as an exclusive story yesterday. It's not the case. It's not true. The story was broken as an exclusive by John Wayman at the Just Joe show 2 days ago. And that should be respected. That was the first place this story came out, and credit to Joe for getting the story as well. But again, I keep saying this, be mindful and wary of Football Insider with their exclusive. They don't tend to be true, and this is another one that doesn't appear to be the case at all. Moving into the final story of the day then, and that's the exit of Sonny Perkins from Leeds United for next season. Sonny Perkins has confirmed a loan exit from Leeds United, and he heads off to League One side Leyton Orient next season. It should also be pointed out at this point that Sonny Perkins has 1 year remaining on his contract at Leeds United, and unless he has a very standout year, an impressive loan spell at the League One outlet, it's very likely we see a similar situation to Lewis Bate this year, where he goes off on loan for the season but is likely not to ever come back to Leeds United. However, if he does have a strong year, if he has an impressive season, Leeds might look at the initial promise that Perkins had and offer him an extended deal going forward and see if he wants to take that deal at Leeds, but he would want to have a standout season. We will cover Sonny Perkins on loan next season in the Loan Watch. Haven't decided about the Exiles, whether we'll cover them or not, but any young player that's at Leeds that goes out, we will cover their progress next season. So you can see what's going on with them at the club that they're at on loan. And that's pretty much it for today, folks. Not a huge amount of stuff outside of that. There's quite a lot there. There's a lot of stuff there to get your teeth into. I'll be back tonight with a live stream at some point. Keep your eyes open for that. We'll cover the rest of the news of the week. And outside of that, if you're not into the live stream stuff, that's absolutely fine. I'll be back on Monday morning for more Leeds news. You can check that out then. Have a cracking rest of your weekend. And if you're into live streams, I'll see you later on tonight. Have a great day. Bye.